Hello, my name is Matthew Blake, and I am presenting on the importance of body language in your presentations. Does your job require you to present to groups of people? And if so, what kind of presenter are you? Is your audience engaged by your presentations? Or better question, are you engaging? And again, is your audience distracted by your presentations? And yet again, better question, are you distracting? It's hard to reach people, it's hard to reach an audience in today's fast-paced and soundbite world. But body language can make or break your message getting through to your audience. So what are the facts behind this? According to Stanford Business, they say that body language plays a powerful role in how we communicate. And then moving on, Dr. Edward Wertheim of Northeastern University's College of Business says that nonverbal communication cues may add to or complement a verbal message. But what exactly is body language? According to the Executive Communications Group, body language comprises gesture, stance, and facial expression. These are all the more important when all eyes of an audience are upon you. When you are presenting, strong, positive body language becomes an essential tool in helping you build credibility, express your emotions, and connect with your listeners. It also helps your listeners focus more intently on you and what you're saying. Notice that it said body language is an essential tool. Not that it's nice to have, or if you can, maybe throw it in there, but it's an essential tool in presenting. It's necessary to reach an audience. In this chart, Mary Bennett, a leadership consultant, ultimately says that 93% of communication is nonverbal, and broken down 55% is body movements, which is facial expressions, posture, gesture, stance, and things of that nature, and 38% is vocal, things like volume, pitch, and rhythm, which only leaves 7% for the actual words that are being spoken. The content of a presentation is only 7% of communicating and reaching your audience with a message. So connecting the dots, people who use body language effectively reach their audience more easily and regularly. And using body language effectively is the most important aspect in presenting to an audience. But people often say content is the most important aspect of a presentation, right? You spend all of this time working on what you're going to say, and we spend very little time on how we're going to say it and how we're coming across in our presentation. But 93% is that how we say it, and only 7% is actually what we say. So, without appropriate body language, you can lose an entire audience to boredom or distraction, even if you have excellent content. So here's a few examples. The first one is lack of eye contact. The first time I ever took a speech class when I was young, the teacher told us that when you're presenting, just stare at the back of the room. Just stare at the back wall of the room the entire time to help with nerves. And while that may help with nerves, it's actually a terrible idea, because if you just stare at the back wall, you'll never connect with your audience. Eye contact is so important if you want to be able to reach your audience. The next one is the palm tree. While palm trees are great while you're lying in a hammock in Florida or on the beach in Hawaii, it's not so great in presentations. The palm tree is when you take the stage, you plant yourself in the middle of the stage, and then you don't move again except for the sway back and forth. Just like the palm tree that sways back and forth, you just sway back and forth as you give your presentation. One, it's very distracting, and two, it's a good chance you're going to put your audience to sleep. And third are hands and pockets. While hands and pockets can be a good thing to maybe show that you're confident, or maybe even to put your audience at ease if there's some tension, if you have your hands in your pockets the entire time you're giving a presentation, it's very distracting. And not only is it distracting, but it takes away the opportunity for you to be able to use your hands to reach your audience, to engage your audience, and ultimately to draw them into your message. So lastly, body language will make or break your message getting through to an audience. The fact is that our bodies speak a language, and with that we can either speak a language that reinforces our message or takes away from it. So here's a practical tip. Next time you give a presentation, be sure to practice by recording yourself give the presentation beforehand. If you're not engaged or even distracted by your own presentation, chances are your audience will be distracted in the same way. So keep working on that one thing that has the power to make or break your message getting through to your audience. Thank you.